Hi, everybody. Welcome to Better Than Never. Shit.
I'm not actually inside a women's prison at the moment.
The horniest just went up to like 11.
All right, nobody cares about the intro. Turn it down. We got stuff to do. The Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Final, and they just extended to 6 games.
Yeah, Satan's fired up. Satan's ready to tweak his nipples. Satan's ready to be at Rogers' place on Friday night and blow the fucking roof off.
How much did you pay for tickets?
I don't pay for tickets. There's a couple of guys on both sides that owe me a favor, so they all sneak old Satan in.
Can I come?
Absolutely not. I've only got space for one.
But I really want to go, and I don't want to spend a mortgage payment. Wow. 2 mortgage payments on a ticket.
Wow, that sounds like a bang, no problem. Satan's gonna be there drinking beers, scantily clad, oiled up. It is going to be electric.
Oh, my Lord. Last night, obviously, Edmonton Oilers got the job done in Game 5. It was a do-or-die game, the second straight one, and they came through. We're going to talk about it all, but first, I got to talk about being in Edmonton in the playoffs. You know, on Saturday, I went to watch the game with... Gene Shorts was in town. Gene Shorts flew in from Vancouver, and he was just kind of here for the weekend. He wanted to soak up the spectacle. And on Saturday, we started early. We went down to Campio. We went down to have some lunch, have a couple of beers, just kind of set the tone, see what things were like. And, you know, as we were sitting there, you just see nothing but a parade of Oilers gear marching by. Hats, jerseys, people with flags on their cars, people with 50 flags on their cars, people with hockey sticks in the box of their truck with giant flags. It was a spectacle. And for Gene Shorts, the guy lives in Vancouver now, to have him be home for a couple of games, even though Game 3 didn't necessarily go our way, having him be home from a couple of games just kind of made me excited about the whole thing again. He didn't get to see any of this outside of the Vancouver side of it. And he was telling me stories about being in Vancouver and wearing jerseys and just how that all went there. But then coming home, it's not like when you see somebody walking around in an Oilers jersey, you're on like some secret club like you are in some of the other cities. It's just not the case. And so it was fun for me to kind of live through his first experience of Edmonton in the playoffs so far this year. And of course, the Stanley Cup Final is a different animal. And then on Saturday, we went to the Pint and watched the game there. And we were there with our boy Rick, of course, from Oilers Nation Radio. Had 9,000 drinks, it feels like. We got after it. And when the Oilers scored, we got after it even harder. Did I eat? Yeah, I did. Did I drink enough waters? No. Did I have Zins all night long, basically rimming my mouth with them? Yes, I did. It was one of those nights where the results of the hockey game was obviously fantastic, but then the party afterward was just so much fun. The spectacle of a Saturday night in Edmonton after a big win like that in the Stanley Cup Final. Come on. It doesn't get better than that. Cars honking well into the evening. Queen Donair on Jasper Ave, packed to the rafters at 2:30 a.m. They ran out of Donair minis. I got one of the last Donairs they served that night because my boy Zach Lang rolled in shortly after me and he was going to grab a Donair as well. And he just goes, they ran out of meat. Take an Uber home. Cost a fortune. Didn't care about surcharges. That was just not the vibe I was in. I was like, what's an extra $60 on the pile of the damage I've created so far in this playoff run? I regret nothing. Not one thing. Not one thing.
Not one thing? What about you not coming to Game 6 with me on Friday? Rogers' Place is going to be so much fun.
Well, I mean, I want to, but even just looking at tickets right now, as I'm speaking, I've got Fan First open, and one ticket in the upper bowl, one ticket, $1,600 on Fan First. So when I click on them, let me just see. Section 233, row 11. So you're up there, man. $3,300 is the total. $3,300. You could fly to Florida for less than that. I can tell you that much for a fact. I did it for less for games 1 and 2. The return flight was just less than that. Now, altogether, was it less than that? No. But we're talking about one game in my home rink. Like, I just... So I don't know what I'm going to do on Friday. I think I'll probably go to the bar, probably go to Greta. A bunch of the team is going to be going to the Greta. So watching the game with the folks from Nation HQ. We had a blast last night at Greta. Game 5, we obviously do the watch parties for every road game. And did last night, and it was fantastic. We had a blast. The vibes in there were electric. And I guess I want this ride to go on forever because Edmonton in the playoffs is so much fun. And not only is it fun for all of us that are Oilers fans, it's fun for me as doing my job, what I do for a living, seeing all these people come in from out of town and enjoy the spectacle either for the first time or they've heard stories about it or they just are seeing what is happening in Edmonton and just wanting to be a part of it. Last night at Greta, there was people that flew in from England. There was a guy at the bar sitting by himself. He just wanted to be at a viewing party with us. He drove up from Lethbridge. There was all the media that was in town over the weekend. And if you read all the reports from Edmonton, I encourage you, go to DJ Bean on the What Chaos YouTube page. And he did probably a 10, 12-minute recap of his trip to Edmonton. Loved it. First time he was ever here. Spent a bunch of money at the what do you call that? The Oilers store? Went to both games. Just electric. I don't listen to Spit and Chicklets, although, I respect the podcast. It's obviously massive, but it's just not in my regular listening routine. But I listened to the one after Game 4 because I want to know what those guys thought of what happened here. And to hear them just crowing about Edmonton and just singing the praises of Oilers fans for setting the tone and creating a space where it's just, there's nothing else like it. It's just fun. Frank Saravalli, he's a guy who's been everywhere, seen games in every stage, been in every rink in the NHL, and he said there's nothing like what's happening in Edmonton. Greg Wyshynski from ESPN said it's the Comic-Con of hockey at Rogers Place. My boy Banjo guy, McMullet, they're all decked out. Stanley Cup mom. Mama Cup, what do we call her? But when I say that, you know who I'm talking about. You've got guys dressed like Vikings. You've got guys in coveralls. You've got guys wearing masks. You've got stormtroopers walking around. It is one of the greatest scenes of all time. Sports is the best. And when it's happening here in a market that loves the Oilers more than everything else, it doesn't get better than that. If I was the mayor, I would declare an early work day on Friday because I can tell you one thing for a fact. Nobody is doing anything productive on Friday. Game 6, Stanley Cup Final, Rogers Place after being down 3-0 in the series. The boys force Game 6 back at home. Give me a break. That place is going to be electric. I just hope the structure is sound because the fans are going to blow the roof off the place. I couldn't think of a spot in the world I would rather be more than in that arena. Now, if somebody wants to give me $3,300, I can make that happen. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I have a foot finder. I can sell a kidney. You only need one of those, right? Piece of my liver. Although it might be a little damaged after the last 2 months. I don't know. Been hard living. I'm going to mix in a salad. Salad or two starting next week, I swear. I swear. All I know is that Friday should be a holiday. If you need an unlicensed doctor's note, you come to Old Bag Milk. I'll scribble something down for you. If your boss accepts it, that's the job for you. If not, well, I don't know what to tell you. Shout out to the audio department, as always, for being the title sponsor of the show. Theaudiodepartment.ca. Go book yourself some studio time. In the interim, let's get to the news. The news is brought to you by Star Mechanical. Star Mechanical is one of Edmonton's largest locally owned and operated plumbing and heating businesses. They've been working within the community for over 20 years. Many of the homes built in Edmonton over the last 2 decades have had their plumbing and heating systems installed by Star Mechanical. StarMechanical.ca offers 24/7 emergency services. Help them help you keep your home running smoothly. The obvious thing to start with is that the Oilers faced Game 6, even though no one expected it. It's just, the last 2 games have been so much fun. And who else lead the charge but Connor McDavid? To become the first player in Stanley Cup history to have multiple 4-point nights in the finals. Did it on back-to-back nights. He had 4 points on Saturday in Game 4. 4 very important points, including 2 goals last night in Game 5. He beat Bobrovsky from, I don't know what you would call that, impossible angle down low. Horrible goal by Bob. Oilers are in his head, allegedly, in my opinion. Second one, empty netter. Matt Tkachuk could have had the most meaningful play in that game where he skated his ass off, dove towards the puck going into the empty net and swooped it out. The problem, of course, was that Oliver Ekman-Larsson didn't seem to care all that much, and he was doing a little twirly twirl. McDavid picked up the puck, buried it, game over. Back to Rogers Place. Drag him back to Alberta. If I'm Tourism Alberta, I put that everywhere. That's the new slogan. Drag them back to Alberta. Connor McDavid said it after the Game 4 win, saying we need to go down to Florida, and I'm paraphrasing, get the job done and drag them back to Alberta. Well, if you're going to say something like that, you better be the guy that leads the charge. Unlike Matt Tkachuk, who basically pulled a Messier yesterday and guaranteed a win in Game 5. Didn't happen, did it, Matthew? Didn't happen. And for the second straight game, your family left early. I don't know if they did last night, but I know they did in Game 4. I wonder if the Panthers are going to do the same thing on Friday. Are they going to fly everybody's family out to Edmonton knowing what happened last time, the distraction it allegedly caused, in my opinion? Oh, well, Matthew, your friends and family are here, and Keith and Brady are in town, and you're going to have to dish out like $20,000 for 4 tickets. And he goes, all right, well, I make a lot of money, so I can do that. Well, the resale market in Edmonton is pretty extreme, and we've got 100 and some people, friends and family, flying into Edmonton for the Game 4. You guys are surely going to win, right? Like, you're going to win. We're chartering a plane. And then what happened? Last night, family's all there. And then what happened? Connor McDavid shut the door, does a Viking warrior yell when that empty netter goes in. That image alone will be burned into my brain forever. What a game. Back-to-back games by the captain. Connor McOverrated? Greg Cote? How's that going for you? You woke him up. You poke the bear. Now he's awake and you get the claws. But the game started just like it did both nights, Game 4 and Game 5, with a shorthanded goal to set the tone. Are you kidding me? The Oilers PK has now outscored the Panthers power play 2-1 in this series. 2-1. First of all, the PK has been electric all playoffs long. They are looking so good. They're so aggressive. They believe in their system. They believe in each other. They're getting the saves from Stu. Everything the PK is doing is going well for them. Now, knock on wood. What I didn't expect, though, is that 2 games in a row, Game 4 and Game 5, Matthias Janmark and Conor Brown would connect on opening goals. The first time, Conor Brown, nice little chip in Game 4. Around the defenseman, skates down, behind the net, out in front, Janmark buries. Boom! Oilers on the board. Rogers Place goes bananas. Last night, early power play for Florida. Deflected pass by Conor Brown. He outskates Sasha Barkov. By the way, Barkov just totally gave up on that play, didn't he? Coasting in. Looking like a dude in beer league. He goes, the goalie will have it. Conor Brown buries. Nice move to the backhand on Sergei Bobrovsky. 1-0 Oilers. All of a sudden, there's a little bit of tension in the building. Little bit of tension. All of a sudden, the Panthers fans that were so sure that they were going to be seeing Lord Stanley on Tuesday night, I guess. All of a sudden, they weren't so sure. Then the Oilers just kept coming, and they kept coming, and they kept coming. And after the first period, they had built themselves, the 1-goal lead, but didn't really give up a whole lot. They didn't really give up much of anything. That was one of the best starts to the game the Oilers had. They only gave up 6 shots on net. Then, early in the second, the power play came through. Zachary Martin-Hyman stands in front of the net. Evan Bouchard banks one in off his leg. Boom, in the net. Zach Hyman on the board for the first time. Nugent-Hopkins got on the board for the first time in Game 4. Connor McDavid got on the board for the first time in Game 4. That's when Connor sunk that one through Bobrovsky's legs. I really don't know what he was doing on that play. sinks it through his legs. Matt Tkachuk did get the Panthers back in the mix after another blown clear attempt by the Oilers, and it drives me crazy. This one was on Dylan Holloway. He kind of got caught with a little bit of a soft play along the boards, and it turned around. I don't know where Bouchard was in that play either. He was trying to fly the zone. How did Matt Tkachuk get so lost behind the coverage? I have no idea. I know he hadn't scored in weeks, but that's not a player you just let be and do his thing. So he ripped it. Great shot by Tkachuk. I don't know how much more Stu could have done. He probably could have flown out of the net a little bit more, but I don't know. Shortly after, about 5 minutes or so, Connor McDavid highlight reel through all 4 defenders. Pass over to Corey Perry. He gets his first of the playoffs. It was one of those goals where you're going to see that highlight for eternity. No matter what happens in this series, for eternity. Unbelievable. I made a little jokey meme tweet about it. That thing is easily my most viral tweet of all time. It's got currently, as I'm recording, 480,000 impressions, 650 retweets, 8,000 likes. On Instagram, it's got about 6,000 likes, 2,000 shares. The thing is absolutely ripping. That was arguably one of the nicest goals I've ever seen. Connor didn't even score it. Corey Perry. And shout out to Chris Johnson for the story he wrote today at The Athletic saying Darnell Nurse was supposed to be on instead of Corey Perry, but he was at the opposite end of the bench. He yelled, go, go, go to Corey Perry. He jumped on and scores his first of the playoffs. I was wondering when the Worm was going to make an impact for good, and last night ends up with the game winner on a power play. That is 2 power play goals for the Edmonton Oilers in Game 5, 1 in Game 4. All of a sudden, the power play that's been kept quiet has got 3 in the last 2 games. You woke them up. You woke them up. They've had a different approach too, and that was on terrible, terrible Florida ice. That puck looked like it was a tennis ball and we were playing street hockey in the rain. Bouncing everywhere. Boys couldn't connect. Unfortunately, towards the end or the middle of the second period, Evan Rodriguez continued his hot run against the Oilers. He scored another, what I believe was avoidable goal. Respect the blue lines, boys. That's ultimately what I got to say. You got to clear. You got to make it hard. You can't just do a little soft rimmy. A little soft rimmy, that's for your personal time.
Yeah, Satan loves a soft rimmy.
Third period started not so great. Oliver Ekman-Larsson on a nice pass from Tkachuk, to be honest. Found a quiet spot in the coverage, blew it over Stu's shoulder. All of a sudden, we had a game. It was gut check time. To the Oilers' credit, though, even though the Panthers were absolutely shelling them in that third period, they got 10 shots, and a lot of them were high quality, in my opinion. Oilers only got 4 shots in the third. They bent, but they didn't break. Stu was there to cover things up. Stu was fantastic. And then that's when, first of all, Matthias Janmark had a chance with the empty net, hit the post. Unfortunate luck, given how well he's played and how well he's finished when given a chance like that. Then, moments later, Oilers get another clear. Matt Tkachuk races down. He scoops it off. It was very, very cool to look at. I'm sure if you were a Panthers fan in the moment, unless Ekman-Larsson just gave up on the play, as he did, Connor Burry's game over, dragging him back to Alberta. It's a game I don't know that I'll ever forget. He had guys give performances that were just unbelievable. Conor Brown, what can you say about the way this guy, he was a healthy scratch in the first round against the LA Kings.
Are you saying that you're going to give the Canucks credit for Conor Brown getting going? He came in against the Canucks and they said, hey, Conor Brown, you didn't do shit during the regular season. What are you going to do against us, big boy? All of a sudden, it kickstarted his redemption arc. All of a sudden, Conor Brown is looking like Fernando Pisani in 2024. Everybody loves the ginger beard. Everybody looks how handsome he is in that thing. But it all started against the Canucks. The Canucks get credit for Conor Brown, I say.
Whatever you say, Quad. Conor Brown, give him another bonus as far as I'm concerned. Whatever happened in the regular season doesn't really matter right now because of how well he's playing in the playoffs. He is a dog on a bone. He is stripping people of the puck every other shift, it seems like. He is putting himself in positions to score. He's putting his teammates in position to score. I love what Conor Brown is doing right now, and he just deserves all the love that he's getting online. All right, enough of you. Yeah! Conor Brown, though, like, how do you not look at trying to re-sign Janmark, Henrique, and Brown? All three of them. That line, the third line, has been fantastic. Janmark, Henrique, Brown, all three of them unrestricted free agents at the end of the year. You have to bring back all of them, don't you? How do you make it work? I have no idea. I'm not Jeff Jackson. Whoever replaced Ken Holland. How the fuck would I know? All I know is that trio has been so good since they've been put together in the playoffs that what was once a fourth line is the third line is not really close. They've all been fantastic. Janmark and Brown on the PK. The three of them have offensive chemistry. Adam Henrique scored a big goal in Game 4. I just love the way they're playing together. Can you afford them? I have no idea. Probably not. But again, you got to find a way. You have to find a way to keep all three of them. That's what I say. Henrique would probably be the biggest problem of the three, but again, not my problem. I mean, it's my problem, but I can't solve it. Got to get rid of some money. You know? Vander Kane didn't play last night. He's banged up. It's not his fault, but there's a guy that the people are looking at. You know? Brett Kulak. He's been another guy that people have talked about potentially moving on from given his cap hit. And I don't know how you can. Playoff Kulak has been excellent. There was one play last night where he rushed down the boards at about 36 kilometers an hour. Beautiful centering pass to Nugent-Hopkins. He just couldn't finish it. It was a nice save by Bobrovsky. That would have iced the game right there in the third period. Didn't come together. But how do you get rid of that guy? How? I don't know. Corey Perry got the game winner on the power play, just as we all suspected he would. But again, the Worm made an impact. He only played just over 7 minutes, but he was noticeable in a good way. I didn't like the way Chris Knobloch would play that fourth line after a goal or after a stoppage in play, like a TV timeout. I really didn't like it, but listen, I'm not gonna question Nobby at this stage. He is just dialed into this team, and I don't know what else you say other than that. Question Chris Knobloch at your own peril, friends. Question him at your own peril. The other thing that happened last night was Evan Bouchard set a new National Hockey League record for most assists by a defenseman in a single playoff run with his 26th of the playoffs. Bouchard recorded his record-breaking assist in the postseason midway through the second period when the Oilers put themselves up by, at that point it would have been 4-1. So we got the assist on Corey Perry's goal. I'm going to tell you that's the easiest second assist Bouchard will ever get. Connor did all the work. A little dipsy, little doodle, little wah, wah, wah. Over to Perry. Come on. It was just a great night. It was even better watching Bill Zito chuck his water bottle. He was so mad. He looked like his temples were going to pop out of his head. He turned red. Very angry eyebrows. Comically angry. In fact, I'd say almost cartoonish. Again, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Bill Zito chucking the water bottle. I'd probably watch it 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 times. I don't know. Estimates could be low. The other thing I want to mention before we wrap up the news is Stuart Skinner. His stats games 4-7 are unbelievable. Currently, and this is tweeted by Oilers Nation Everyday guest Jason Demers, Stuart Skinner's stats in games 4-7 of the 2024 playoffs. He's currently 9-0. He's got a save percentage of .939 and a goals against of 1.56. I don't know if you need to hear this, or I don't know if you can't figure it out. Those are very good numbers. Very, very good.
Satan loves when you talk about sexy stew numbers. Listen, I've always had a thing for that mustache and the witty hair thing he does before he puts his helmet on, but when I see him excel, when I see him stand tall in the net, Satan can't get enough.
All I know for sure is that the Oilers have a chance to do the most hilarious thing possible, but it's going to take 2 more wins. And if any team can make this happen, it is the Edmonton Oilers. Any team. No matter what, the last thing I guess I'll say before we wrap up the news, there's no matter what the Panthers say, yes, they're a hungry team, yes, they're a veteran team, and yes, they're a damn good team. All of those things are true. You would never have me deny any of that, but what I don't agree with is that they're doing this thing where they're pretending there's no pressure on them. Come on. You've already blown 2 chances to close. You've flown your family across the country twice. You're doing it again for Friday night. You're telling me there's no pressure on you? When the Oilers have seemingly figured out your star goalie? Come on. Come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe a word of it. Oilers living rent-free right now, and you will not convince me otherwise. The news is brought to you by Star Mechanical. StarMechanical.ca offers 24/7 emergency services. Their team of tradespeople are highly skilled and accommodating for all of their customers. They supply and maintain all the major brands like Lennox, Carrier, Goodman, Train, and more. Visit them at starmechanical.ca.
Oh, Captain Felton with your charm. In your uniform, you're looking so fine and so true. Through the high seas and beyond. I'd follow the stars just to be where you are. Oh, I would sail the seven seas for love. With you, my captain, under skies above.
And it ends. It ends. The big question is brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle. The vegetarian Manchurian is here for a limited time only. I just tried it last week. It is incredibly delicious. Go on into any Edmonton location and score it while you can. That is a limited time offer only, as is the 4 for $4 torpedo shrimp. You get 4 torpedo shrimp for $4. It is exactly what you need right now. Much like the BOGO on Uber Eats or DoorDash until June 30th. Get this for the last, wrap this up the month with this, I should say. BOGO, buy one, get one free. That's on the Kung Pao, the Hot Thai box, the Singapore box, the Jungle Curry box. All of them are fantastic. All of them will improve your life. I promise you that. No question. Got it? Got it. Today, the big question that I needed your help with for our friends at Oodle Noodle was, what do the Oilers need to do to make sure this series goes to 7? We've got a huge game coming up on Friday night at Rogers Place. There's no doubt in my mind that it is going to be electric in there. The crowd is going to be hopping. I can only imagine what Banjo Guy's makeup's going to look like. McMull's driving up for Strathmore. You know, the gang's all here. But what do the Oilers need to do to make sure that this goes back to Florida one more time? What do they need to do? Taylor Smith from Sonic says, more Shania. And while we're at it, keep up the speed, generate those rush chances, and keep the belief alive. Oodle Noodle just says, have a bath and butter chicken. I mean, I don't know how it's going to help the Oilers win, but it will be delicious and you will smell fantastic for the rest of the day. I promise you that. Captain Felton, who I saw yesterday.
Let's go, baby.
Oops, that was actually Taylor from Sonic. Keep taking it one game at a time. Job is not done. Carrie says, keep it up. One game at a time, one period at a time, one shift at a time. How do I say this guy's name? Shivishul. 9-10 goaltending, 30 minutes from Ekholm and Bouchard. Connor got to go supernova again. Chris Curtola says, defensive juggernaut of a game, push the pace, hit, and forecheck. If there was one complaint I had, and I know that's not really the Oilers game, so maybe I'm just complaining about nothing, but they got out hit 44-16 in game 5. I wish they had a little bit more pushback on the physical side. I know it doesn't help with the Vander Kane injured and out of the lineup, but I thought they got pushed around a little bit. And I know you can only hit when you don't have the puck, but ultimately I would like to see the Oilers be, like a little prison rules out there, if that makes sense. Back to the big question for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Handsome Rob says, stay the course from game 4 and 5. Do not let them gain momentum. Keep running their heavy offensive. Give them an inch. They'll try to take a mile. Brian says, the slumbering giant named Leon Draisaitl will emerge. Leon, I want to know what's going on with him health-wise. He's going to come out and say something. Whenever this is done, hopefully the Oilers are lifting the Stanley Cup on Monday in Sunrise, Florida. He's going to come out and say, listen, somebody ripped my legs off. I've been running with robot legs like that guy that killed his girlfriend in the bathroom. What's that guy's name again? Oscar Pistorius. I did not know she was in there, my lady. I did not know. I'd love to know what's going on with Leon. He doesn't quite look like himself. He's not playing bad by any means. Leon Draisaitl is a warlord in the playoffs. And if he shows up, also in addition to Connor going supernova over these last 2 games, it is night-night for the Panthers. Eric just says, score more goals. Yep. Todd says, get to the point quickly and cover the mid slot. Florida is looking for point shots to get through and pounce on the rebounds in the slot. If Edmonton covers the point quickly in the middle of the ice, they're going to be in good shape. Matt G says, a couple of things. Play to win, not to lose. Impose their game on Florida. Make them defend the rush and match the forecheck. Finally, they need to weather the storms a little bit better. When Florida gets their cycle going, Edmonton chases for far too long and miss too many simple clears. Also, let's go Stu. I don't disagree with any of that. Respect the blue lines is essentially what I'm seeing there. You got to get it out. You got to get it in. Giveaways at 3 feet on either side of the blue line. Those are the bane of my existence. I've said it a million times. Orange and blue in my veins. Gary says they need to jump on them early, use the raucous crowd to feed them, and do not let up after getting the lead. Oil and 7 says work on CC winning some puck battles in the corner. That's the thing that drives me nuts about CC. By all accounts, the guy is shredded. One of the best, one of the guys who's in the best shape on the team. Bro, use them muscles. They ain't just for glam, playboy. Unless you're going to pop that shirt off and play with no tarp on. I want to see you fighting in them corners. Robert says, score first and score fast. Of course, we're working through the big question for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Verbrugs, I should say, says everything, but mostly keep stretching that desperation inch. I don't know what that means.
I know what that means.
Are you going to tell me?
I don't think I should.
Rashawn says, Game 6, Oiler forwards need to come back and help on the breakout into the middle ice. Not get pinched to death on the boards. Play fast since they are faster than Florida. Defense like Kulak, Nurse, Broberg need to skate it out more often. Play all 4 lines. Dave Owen says, they just got to win Game 6. Ian says they got to win Game 6.
They got to win Game 6.
I says, puck out of our zone fast. Keep playing with pace. My friend Blowfish says, feels like shorthanded goal in the first 5 minutes is the most accurate answer, but implies that being shorthanded, which is traditionally the wrong answer. Instead of that, I'll just say I don't want it. I need it. Mr. Burns says, more of the long shot passes that worked so well in Game 4. I think the ice gave them trouble with that in Florida, but it seems to be super effective. Also, I would put Carrick in for Smith, or for Ryan. I would put Sam Carrick in for Derek Ryan. The fourth line wasn't great last night. They were awful on faceoffs, too. They only won 40% of the faceoffs. Lisa says, clear the zone. Michael Wong says, score more goals than Florida. Justin just says 0 egregious turnovers. I like that one. The Sporting page says it's time for a Draisaitl and a Nuge game. Love that. Matt Coulter, La Bamba mentality, baby. I agree with that. Here's Ben. Con Diddy just says win. Shane says protect the puck in their own zone a little bit better and improve the zone exits. 2, playoff Leon shows up to assert himself. Zastrobi says, figure out who takes the penalty early and open the scoring again with a shorty on the PK. Everybody has got great ideas, and that's why we do the big question for our friends at Oodle Noodle. Yeah! I'm going to start giving away some GCs too from Oodle Noodle. They have been very, very kind to let me do so. So next week, starting next Wednesday, the big question is also going to accompany some free meals, courtesy of me and our friends at Oodle Noodle.
Ready you receiving brew? Like Scoob, it's better late than never with bag milk. Zoinks!
The betting segment is brought to you by my friends at Bet365. They are proud partner of Better Late Than Never. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Use the promo code OILYBONUS. What is the promo code?
Oily bonus.
Oily bonus, oily bonus, oily bonus. It's funny how when I do these Guess the Odds games with the boys like I did yesterday on Oilers Nation Radio, how a win can change everything. Yesterday, I said, what is the Oilers' odds to win the series? It was plus 700, so that's 7-1 essentially. Pretty sure it is. My math is bad, but I think that's how it works. Plus 700 for the Oilers to win the series. After winning Game 5, that has dropped significantly to plus 275. People are putting their money on the Oilers to come back and win this thing, and I love it. I love it. Also, another one that has changed dramatically is who is going to score the most points in the series. Connor McDavid has been taken off as an option entirely. My guy's scoring so many points in the last 2 games. I go, well, can't bet on that anymore. The odds would be atrocious. It's one of those ones where it is an absolute given, or at least it's looking like that. So the odds are so bad that nobody would ever bet on it. Our friends at Bet365, they're smarter than that. They just go, we're going to take that off. We're going to take it off. Edmonton Oilers, though, this is where I'm most interested. Edmonton Oilers to win Game 6 is currently minus 120. So they are favored to win at home. It is just under a pick'em. So you're basically going to just under double your money if the Oilers just win the game outright. If they win by 2 goals or more, that's a puck line win. And all of a sudden, that is plus 200. We're getting a little juicy now. I think back to 2006 when the Oilers won in Game 5. Tyler Yaremchuk on Oilers Nation Every Day had Fernando Pisani today on, and he scored the shorthanded OT winner in Game 5 in Carolina, brought it back home for Game 6. The Oilers blew them out of the water, and after that, I feel like they canceled the series. I don't remember what happened after that. But my point is, I think that part of blowing them out at home is going to continue. So, plus 200 on the puck line for the Oilers to win by 2 or more. If they have a 4-2 win with an empty netter to lock it down, or if they just win by 2 like they did last night, empty netter to seal it up, plus 200, that's getting pretty juicy for me. Pretty juicy. Pretty juicy indeed. So if you want to know where old Bag Milk's putting his money, I'm going to do a sprinkle. I'm going to keep this real easy for Game 6. Money line. I'm just betting on them to win, and a little sprinkle on the plus 200 puck line. If you want to get in on the bets, open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Use the promo code OILYBONUS. One more time, that promo code is OILYBONUS.
Donkey Valley, Donkey Valley. Don't you let him near your herd with that charming grin. He'll woo your goats from cliffs and hills, won't matter where they've been. Just a whistle and a call, see them running wild. He's the shepherd of desire, nature's longing child. Donkey Valley.
It shuts off real quick, doesn't it?
You want to see a man, boy? I'll show you a man. Kick me in the jimmy.
For Trilogy Oilfield Rentals, it is time for the righteous sack beating. Of course, Trilogy Oilfield Rentals are an established provider of tools and expertise across multiple oilfield disciplines, specializing in rentals, pipe recovery, fishing, pipe recovery, abandonments, and completions. Currently, they maintain full-time operating units in Provost, Weyburn, and Kindersley. What kind of tools do they have? Well, I thought you'd never ask.
Rental tools, fishing tools, coil tools, drilling tools, mills and bits, completion tools, any tools for any job. TrilogyRentals.ca.
2 things are annoying me today. 1, well, maybe 3. 1, all those people, the morons, the dummies that are just reaching so badly to suggest that the Panthers intentionally lost Game 4 so they could go home and win it in front of their own fans in Game 5. Well, how'd that work out? How'd that work out for you? I know you don't believe in the Oilers because you aren't a member of the nation. You're not a nation citizen. You're not a member of the Oilers fandom, as so many of us are. We're converting people from out of town like DJ Bean. He's in Boston. We're flying people into the city to enjoy the festivities like my boy Gene Shores and Captain Felton. But there are those of you who are just so up to your eyeballs in conspiracy theories that, oh, well, the Panthers wouldn't intentionally, they would absolutely fly all of their friends and family into Edmonton just to intentionally lose so they can go home and lose again and just try it all over again just under a week later. That makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Your hatred of the Oilers is what fuels me. And I hope it fuels the team too. Like Connor McDavid said, everybody has been doubting them. I'm paraphrasing. He's much smarter with his words than I am. Everybody's been doubting them every step of the way, and yet all the Oilers have done is drag themselves back from the fucking dead. And I'm looking for them to do it again. And if you haters can't get on board with it, and you can't even appreciate what's going on, and you're going to come up with these weak-ass theories like Florida coughing up games on purpose, give me a break. Give me a break. The other thing that's annoying me, to be honest, why did Washington let the LA Kings out of that Pierre-Luc Dubois deal? Why? It is a 1-for-1 trade with Darcy Kemper. Now, I know Darcy Kemper didn't have a great year last year. He had a sub-900 save percentage. You don't want that from your starter, especially when you're paying $5.25 million per year. Jack Campbell. But to just take PLD off the Kings' hands, free and clear, giving them $3.25 million in cap space, what are you doing? I know you don't want Dylan Strome as your first line center. Nobody wants Dylan Strome as your first line center. But PLD? How many teams has he got to go to before you kind of go, I don't know if we can fix him? Is that what the Capitals are trying to do? Is that why they bought Cap Friendly? They're going to close down Cap Friendly so that we all can't make fun of them for the PLD contract and see how bad it is. What doesn't make me upset, though, is I got to say, watching the Flames get hosed on that Markstrom deal today, they're going to be paying him 30% to ride out his contract and go play on a much better team in New Jersey. I love it. So as much as the first two items annoy me, although I got to say, in terms of the Kings, again, just going back real quick, having the tandem of Riddick and Darcy Kemper, maybe actually, you know what, that makes me feel better. That actually makes me feel better. Maybe. Something to think about. That's how we're going to wrap it up, the Rage Sack beating.
You want to see a man, boy? I'll show you a man. Kick me in the jimmy.
In the word of the Pet Shop Boys, I've got the brains, you have the looks. Listen to Better Late Than Never.
The voicemail is brought to you by my friends at Hectic Cuts. Want to get your hair cut from the same place as some of your favorite players? EK97, Hollywood, Stu Daddy, Clouder, McLovin. They've all been to Hectic Cuts. It's a time for you. You can look as handsome as Waz and Zach Lang. Book the best barbers in Edmonton at Hectic Cuts, located in the heart of the South Side, right in Century Park. Bookings available online at hectic-cuts.ca. That is hectic-cuts with a Z.ca. One thing I can't believe I missed or didn't mention is Frank Saravalli talking about last week on Oilers Now that the Oilers have reportedly engaged in contract extension talks with Leon Draisaitl already. Could you get any more excited? Gangs staying together. There's rumors that both Connor and Leon have spoken to Jeff Jackson about their willingness to stay. If Leon is already talking about extension, there's no way he hasn't talked to Connor about what he's going to do. This team could be together for a long time. Whatever happens in this series, a win. Whatever happens, it could happen more than once.
I love when you whisper dirty things like that to me. I know we got voicemails to get to, but I just want to say, Bag Milk, when you're talking about Connor and Leon staying together, it makes Satan rub his 6 nipples like a cat.
Let's get to the voicemail for our friends at Hectic Cuts. First one is from Darko.
Fuck your fucking 8-string fucking guitar that fucking plays all that fucking Joshua Travis shit.
I don't know what that is. I'm skipping it.
Oh. All right, so let's have a sip of beer. So I made a soup tonight, and just like I love chili, I love spice, but I just put too much in it. Wasn't paying attention. Whatever else, mouth burn.
That'll clear out the old sinuses though. One of Dukes, not Dukes. A little spicy soup, get the boogers flowing, clear out the sinuses. Delicious.
And then nose is running. Yeah, should be right. Let's give a shout out to Nick. You know, props to you, mate. I like the fact that you think of me at some stage, because like literally half a second after your voicemail ends, no one fucking thinks about you. I've only lost 15 kilos since November, but
Let me see here. Dukes, 15 kilos. So 15 times 2.02. That is 33 pounds. Good for you, my boy. What you've lost, I've gained probably in this playoff run. Let me tell you, it has not been kind for old Bag Milk's waistline. Every time I say I'm going to have a salad, I end up at a Taco Bell or eating a donair. I regret nothing. I'll deal with that later.
Oh, mate, I'm a proud fat cunt. But whatever, like, I'll let you discuss that projection with your therapist. It's 12 hours, 25 minutes till puck drop, game 3. I don't know what happens, but who cares? Positive eyes only. Hope will never fucking die. We're all in this together. Play the bum, baby. Let's fucking go Oilers.
Let's go. Let's go, Dukes. I love that. Duke's losing 33 pounds. Good for you. How many stone is that? How many pounds in a stone? Is it 7? It's a weird measurement of weight. English people. I know Duke's Australian, but you know what I'm talking about. I see something from Zol, the Will of Thousands. Do I even press play on this?
Thursday morning, game 3. I'm still overseas, but I
Ari, did you forget to put your voice filter on for Zol, the Will of Thousands?
woke up early to watch the game, and I'm recording a voicemail immediately after the second goal, the CC Skinner mistake, because I know that they're not going to win this game after that goal, and they're inevitably going to lose this series. So I came here to say some stuff.
Well, now I understand why Ari DM'd me on Instagram. And what did he say? I'm going to find it. I'm going to read it. Where are you, Ari? Where are you? Gotten a lot of DMs this past week. Good for you guys for sliding into the old DMs as much as you have. You know? Here we go. All right, I'm letting you know right now, please skip the first 2 voicemails I sent in after last week's game 3. They're completely outdated. Or I'm going to play them and let you learn a little lesson here, and hope will never die.
I'm super proud of the boys. It was an amazing season. They're an inherently flawed team that sheer talent got them here. And that deserves all the applause and the kudos in the world. I'm just a bit sad knowing that
we can tell you're sad, Ari. Come on.
This team could have been so much better than what it currently is. When I think about the Nurse, CC, and Campbell contracts, et cetera, like better decisions could have made a better team, in my opinion.
I mean, I do agree with that.
And yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm glad I took my emotions out of it after the Dallas series because I wasn't expecting them to beat Dallas. But anyway, I'm sorry, Bag Milk. I imagine this is pretty hard for you and everyone at Oilers Nation. But here's the off season. You guys did a great job. I'm proud of you guys too for all the coverage. I was following you guys all the way. So yeah, here's the off season. Cheers, guys.
It ain't over until somebody sings. I just can't remember how it goes now. Pretty sure I haven't heard nobody singing. Except the fans at Game 4 with Shania Twain in the building singing Shania Twain. Come on.
Let's go, girls. I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling all right. I'm gonna let it all hang out.
The fun part about for me about playing old voicemails sometimes is we ride the roller coaster, don't we, as Oilers fans? I'm not going to lie. Coming back from Florida, flying home after being down 0-2, I'm like, this sucks. Game 3, me and Jay went to that game together, and in the third period, before they scored the 2 goals to make it really, really close, we were just like, should we eat our feelings? I went and got a big bucket of popcorn chicken. Thankfully, Jay was daddy that night, and he picked it up for me. I imagine it was $95 worth of popcorn chicken. Couldn't tell you. I was sadly eating it. I cheered when they scored. I thought there was going to be time for the comeback. Didn't quite happen. Didn't quite get there. Game forward, different story. Next message, anonymous. Who be you?
one more thing that I want to say that I feel like is important.
Sure.
I better not see any hateful Instagram comments or DMs on players' profiles and shit.
That I agree with. Like, no matter what happens in this series, be better than that. Pretty easy, no?
Don't do that. Yeah, their own mistakes are probably what's going to do them in, but that's not a reason to be an asshole. If that's you, you're not an Oilers fan. You're just an asshole. And you probably deserve to be put on a watch list.
Yep, there you go. According to Yegwave, breaking news, 1 second. Edmonton has been named the most affordable big city in Canada. Enjoy being able to afford to live your life. If you can. Because I think that Edmonton being named the most affordable big city in Canada is kind of a sliding scale of what's affordable these days. Apologetic Nick is in next.
Hey, Big Milk. First of all, Dukes, I am sorry for calling you fat. Secondly, Big Milk, I just wanted to ask you this. Obviously, for each one of these series, you guys have been on the road, and travel's obviously expensive in this current economy. And I'm a pretty young guy, so like, granted, I don't know how things work vis-a-vis travel and the workplace. So these trips you guys have been doing to like Dallas and Florida and blah blah blah. Obviously, there's a big work component. And you guys have your live shows, your articles, your podcasts. But it also seems like a lot of what you're doing is pleasure-based. It's kind of a lot of for you. And so I kind of want to ask, if I'm allowed to ask this, if it's not totally fine. And this is probably the dumbest question you've ever heard. But like I've been wondering this the whole playoffs.
Get it out.
Who pays for what with these trips? Like, I assume Oilers Nation at least covers some of the costs. Like, can you break down what Oilers Nation pays, what you have to pay? That'd be great, because I've been curious about that all playoff run. Thanks.
So I'm not going to give you all the details of how the business works when we go on business trips, but the answer is I cover a lot of it personally. The Nation absolutely helps us out. A lot of it is work related, like you said. We're on the road to cover the Stanley Cup Finals. We're on the road to cover the playoffs. And a lot of it is covered by the Nation via sponsorships that we get. So when you see the travel diaries presented by Bet365, Bet365 gives us an allocation. When you see hectic cuts coming on for the voicemail, which they are right now, they get an allocation. So it kind of works as a piecemeal between some of the sponsors in combination with also paying for a lot of it ourselves. So like all the fun stuff you see us do when we're out and about, that's covered by nobody but ourselves. If we wanted to make it as cheap as possible and just sit in the room and work the whole time, which we do a lot of, that's what we would do. But for the most part, we cover a lot of it ourselves. And like for this finals trip to Florida, when we went down to Florida, I covered basically everything myself. Nation did chip in for sure, but this was one of those experiences where I said, I'm going to put myself in a hole because these don't come around a lot. The last time the Oilers went to the Stanley Cup Finals, I was 21 years old. I'm 39 today. That's a long time. That's a long time to wait. So now it's just kind of like, that's future Bag Milk's problem to an extent. It really is as simple as that. You don't got to overthink it. If you see a sponsorship attached to it, you know, there's a sponsorship attached to it. But don't think that we just get a free ride and do this. We all kind of sit there, the group of four of us, and go, all right, we're in this together. Some of it is going to be a personal thing. Work and pleasure, as Jay would probably say. That's how it is. You know? That's how it is. Did I put myself in a hole in the playoff run? Yeah, I did. 100%. Was it the smartest financial decision I've made in my life to do the playoffs this way? No, it wasn't at all. Not even close. But do I regret any of it? I do not. Not 1 second. I'm having the best time of my life. And at the end of the day, I'm an older guy than you, Nick. I'm more established in my career, in my life. It's money. But these memories, man, if I have to carry these forward for another 18 years, I'm going to know I did it right. Hope that answers the question.
All right, I'll just get it over with. Just left the pint after game 3.
We got Sad Chad. Normally Chad labels his messages, but today I'm going to call him Sad Chad.
It just feels like they're better than us, man. Like I do.
I hope Sad Chad's back later in the voicemail. I don't know. We got a lot of anonymous ones this week, so we'll see what happens. But Sad Chad, what do you got to say after game 3?
Still firmly believe that we are the more skilled team, but they are just playing better than us. They are just, game 1, yeah, we played really well, and I felt we deserved to win that game. But in games 2 and 3, they're just all over us. It just feels like we can't get anything going. And then in addition to that, we're just letting guys walk uncontested out in the open and fucking just put it in the back of our net.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you, Chad. When I was driving home after game 5, or not game 5, game 3. When I was driving home after game 3, all I could think about as I was getting to my house was, I think I even tweeted it. Nobody talked to me. I'm going home to hug my dog. I did. I legitimately did. I got home that night and I took Frank, because the beautiful thing about Edmonton is the days are long. And if you watch, again, going back to DJ Bean, a little callback to earlier in the podcast, he talked about how weird it is for somebody who doesn't know it to be outside at 10:30 p.m. and we're like, why is it still light out? But when I got home after game 3, I literally took my dog. I grabbed Frank. I gave him a cuddle, gave him a little pat, and we walked for 6 kilometers, took breaks, sat under a tree. He had some water. Don't worry, I got a portable water bottle for him. But we just sat and were. And I pet him. It made me feel better.
I don't know.
I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, please don't get swept at home. Please don't get swept at home. Please don't get swept at home. And now, when was game 3? Thursday? Now, a week later, the vibes have changed.
I don't know what to say. And if, like, in round 3, we had lost to Dallas, I would have been pissed because we're the better team. But right now, it just doesn't feel like we're the better team.
I hope you're back, Sad Chad. Hope you're back. We got Angry Nick up next. Angry Nick.
Okay, Oilers lose game 3, and we are currently facing elimination, facing getting swept in the fucking Stanley Cup Finals. Not great. A lot of people are down and out. A lot of people have given up on the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't given up just yet, Big Milk. I got nothing else going on in my life. I got no other positives happening.
Aren't you going to school to be like a neuroscientist or something? Like, isn't that a thing you're doing? Pretty sure it is.
All my chips in the Edmonton Oilers basket. Hope will never die.
Amen, brother.
Hope will never die.
Mm-hmm.
Oilers in 7, baby. Let's go, Oil.
There you go. Oilers in 7. Oh, I think I cut you off. Oilers in 7. That is back on the table. I know it didn't feel like it after game 3. Like I said, I took my dog and I walked a long ways. Yeah. We do love this team, don't we?
Yeah, I don't think that actually made a thing. Anyway, what I was saying is, game 1, Stanley Cup Final. Stanley Cup Final, by the way. But aside, we've got Bobrovsky, obviously.
Yep.
Game 2, we got a little bit, we had our bodies kicked a little bit. Yes.
That is true. Also,
it's not a good thing. Game 3, good Lord, peppered them, and guess what? Bobrovsky. Right, you absolute penis wipes. Who? We need to sack and kill the team. We're really close. We are really close. We do you know what? We need a goalie. Oof. I love Nurse, but that contract, if that was better spent, and I'm not saying trade Nurse, no, because I love the Doctor. I love the Doctor. Anyway, I'm rambling and get fucked. So, good afternoon. I love you so much.
Listen, if we're going to be upset about losses, and I was too. Again, I walked just in a direction of nowhere in particular. I get it. But if we're going to be sad about losses, make sound effects like with your mouth, like Donkey Volley does. Next.
Oilers down in 3. Inopportune cough. Right, that's an outtake. We'll start again. Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is this the reach? I like that take, the cough take still made it through anyway. That is a man who knows how to do a one-take message. Back to you.
Right, as I was saying, Oilers down in 3. Reminds me of a Morris song. Every day is like Sunday. Every day is silent and grey. Right, let's go. You know what? 3-0 down. I've already lost my bet. The cash out was £80 when we qualified for the Stanley Cup Final. Sorry. Do you know what? Actually, 2006 absolutely killed me. I'm okay with this. Better side in game 1. Got goalied, obviously, Bobrovsky. Game 2, we got... I'm trying to not swear because there may be ladies present. Bummed up the arse. Yeah, we got taken over the kitchen table. Game 2. And game 3, good Lord. I'm not losing faith. It's going to be difficult. Anyway, good afternoon. I should say this more. Does anyone fancy a cuddle? Because
I do. I would fancy a cuddle. I could see it now. Donkey Volley, Bag Milk, Dukes. A little 3 dudes having a cuddle.
My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
The voicemail rolls on for our friends at Hectic Cuts. Book an appointment, hectic-cuts.ca. Cuts with a Z.
Right, it's 3-0. I've got to say, everyone's shitting on the Oilers. Fuck that.
Yep.
You know what? We've had a brilliant run, and we've been goalies. Better team in game 1. We got absolutely fucked over the kitchen table. Yeah, let's be honest, we did. In the number 3, better team, game chances, everything. Yeah. Our top line hasn't performed. So, you know what? I'm proud of them. I fucking love my Edmonton Oilers. Let's go, Oilers. Yes.
Again, if you're going to be sad about losses, I recommend doing the dying battery, coming up with the catchphrase, good afternoon. Something of the like. Ari, what do you guys say?
Wednesday morning, because I'm still overseas, back home in India, but I managed to catch the game with my father. Oilers win 5-3. That was a nice thing to see after a really nice game 4 also. A little game review here. They love making it hard on themselves, don't they? They had the 3-0 lead and they kind of blew it a little bit, but they managed to hold on in the end.
Well, what I would say is that, I don't know if they blew it necessarily, but the Panthers definitely pushed. The Panthers didn't make the Stanley Cup Final back-to-back years just by luck. They didn't get a scratch ticket and be like, well, here we are. They were gonna push. Being down by 3 in a game is almost like what the Oilers were doing, being down 3 in the series. You just got a chance to play loose. Fuck it, we're down by 3, whatever. Let's just go out and play. That's kind of what the Panthers did.
If they just tighten things down, then, they can do this. Skinner is giving them a chance. We had the best goalie in a Stanley Cup Finals game. Can you believe that? We had the best goalie.
The last 2 games.
That's a new feeling that I haven't felt in a while.
Especially after those first messages that you thought I could ignore. I could have ignored them, but instead, I teach you a lesson, Ari. Tough love. Tough love for you. Surveyor Brett, is this actually you?
Oilers win Game 5. We're bringing them back to Edmonton, baby.
It is Nick. Lest anybody believe it's actually Surveyor Brett, I think he bailed. Surveyor Brett bailed on us. I haven't heard from him in forever.
Let's go, Oilers. I'm very happy. You know what? I've been accused of being pretty negative in the past. I'm pretty happy. I was positive and I stayed on the Oilers bandwagon because you bet your ass I am savoring these 2 wins. Job's not finished, but 2 more wins. 2 more wins. Let's get her. Let's get them.
2 more wins. That's all you need. All of a sudden, the Oilers are Stanley Cup champions. They complete the impossible, according to some people. This one is out of order as my software continues to fuck me over the table, as Donkey Volley would say.
Good afternoon.
Speaking
it's the donkey.
Hello.
It's been a wonderful journey. Yes, I've been with you, and the highs and the lows, and everything. Good afternoon. And yes, this is my actual voice. Fuck, whatever. It's been a pleasure to be with you every single time, every single episode. Yeah, loved it, and it's time to say goodbye. I think.
No.
I've done things. Yes. And say good afternoon. The lovely Dukes has gone good afternoon too. And I've done AI music, and now everyone's taking over. I think it's time to just step back. It's time to say goodbye.
I don't accept this.
Don't see it as a problem. See it as an opportunity. I love you all. I love this podcast. Good afternoon. And yes, hello. Good afternoon. And I'm out.
I don't accept that, Donkey Volley. You are an originator of many bits on this podcast, including the good afternoon. You've left me countless memorable bumpers. You've left me countless messages that have made me laugh out loud. And not everybody does that. You think Nick makes me laugh? No. Sorry, Nick. Zol, the Will of Thousands? Nope. Sorry. We lost Ben. Where's Ben? He's probably 45 years old already. Grew up right before our eyes. Lost him. Lost track of him in the streets. He's gone feral. But you, my friend, you take a break if you need to. But you come on back now, you hear? We need you. We need the dying batteries. I need to know it's a good afternoon. How else would I know? The AI songs that Dangerous Wade and the boys are making, it's an homage, really. You came up with a fantastic bit and everybody wanted to jump aboard. Now I have a whole page of original, better late than never music. So while you say you love the podcast, I love you right back, brother. And I feel like I don't get to do anything without all of you, including you, Donkey Volley. So I don't accept that. What I will accept is you taking a break, taking care of yourself, making sure you're all right. And you pop back in here whenever you want, okay? Whenever you want. Anonymous caller, what say you?
We're just a 4-game heater away from solving all our problems, right, Bag?
That is right.
Well, now it's 2. So something's working clearly. Some things, CC's got to be a bit better.
Yes, he does.
For sure. He lost a lot of battles today.
I don't get it. Like I said, he's supposed to be shredded. Fucking use those muscles, man. Not just for glam.
Nurse has to be smarter in his own end, for sure. I mean, he could have given up less when he was on the ice, too. And I think he won a bit more from Draisaitl as well. I think he's been a bit quiet, but you know what? It's okay. And less mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could be back in Edmonton right now. I imagine it's a complete party, but
it's a zoo.
I'm still cheering.
Glad you're cheering over in India. What time are the games at over there? What is the time difference? I imagine it's basically opposites. Having a general idea of time zones, having traveled over near that part of the world. I've never been to India. What time is it over there? Should I Google it? Nah, doesn't matter. Doesn't. That's the answer. Blowfish, what do you got to say?
Hey, BM, it's Blowfish. Just finished watching Game 5. Holy shit, that was awesome. You remember that meme that was out there? I think it was just like a graph of the season. And it's like Connor McDavid's the best player in the world for the regular season, and then Leon Draisaitl is the best player in the world in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think Connor got offended by that or something.
You could almost insert the Jordan meme, and I took that personally. Right? Let's combine our memes. We only tell stories via memes. That's what we do.
Oh, no. But holy cow, he's on a run.
He is absolutely on a run.
Yeah, this is friggin' awesome. Leon needs to pick up his game a little bit. I wonder if there's something going on there, but
me too.
I mean, they're doing great. Conor Brown,
Ouch.
Holy crap. I think that's my next jersey. I really do.
If he resigns, and I think they should try and figure that out. Like, if Conor Brown will take less than $1 million, like, bro, you already got a $3.25 million bonus from us on the books next year. Do us a favor. You had a tough season. Do us a little favor. Year 2, year 3, we'll talk about it when the cap starts going up, all right? But I think there'll be a lot of people that get Conor Brown jerseys if that happens. There were 2 of them last night at Greta for our viewing party.
I only have a Hyman jersey right now. The other ones don't have name tags on them, but I'm jonesing for a new one that I won't look at until this is over. But yeah, Game 6. Damn, I wish I was there.
Me too.
Yeah. Good luck. Oilers fans represent. 116 decibels is the record. Get it to 120. 120. Can't remember what that's like. It's like a rocket launch or something like that. But yeah, do it up.
116.
Out.
I feel like they got pretty close in Game 4. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they go over that in Game 6. Or what did I say? Game 4? I think they got pretty close in Game 4, based on some of the footage I've seen. Next, anonymous caller.
All right. I don't know about you. First of all, just want to whoever that drunken Australian guy that was rambling on earlier in the voicemail, mate, get yourself together. That was just despicable. No one cares about the shit you're talking about.
Could have been anybody.
But also, as someone who obviously can't be in Edmonton for this run, and also couldn't watch today's game, I don't even know. Holy fuck. All I can say is, again, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to be a part of this community because I'm 32. It should not be. I'm almost 33. It should not be as much of my identity as it is, but I'm fucking glad that it is.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah. My buddy Brandon was in Edmonton this week. You know, he did 8 days there, whatever. And I'm just so amazed by the way everyone took care of him, to the point now where, like, next time I go to Edmonton, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm Brandon's buddy. Man, this is just pure magic, and I don't give a fuck. I'm doing a second voicemail after this one. So, yeah, whatever. We'll keep this going.
I will let you talk about your love for Edmonton all day long. Go ahead, my friend.
Man, like I've said sort of every game throughout the playoffs, like whatever happens next, you know. I'm not going to say if this happens, I'll do whatever. You know, I'm just so glad that I can be along for the ride with everyone. Obviously, you hope for the best. See what happens. If the best doesn't eventuate, hey, I'm still so fucking happy with how far we've come. I'm so happy with the season, especially for myself personally, like being able to actually go over there, be a part of it for a couple of weeks, and just, man, you know, I challenge anyone to go to another country and sit there and watch games by yourself for a little while and just realize how lucky you are to be a part of that community. But saying that, though, again, as jealous as I am and as much as I wish I could be there, all those negative feelings are, they don't mean shit compared to the joy and the happiness. So, I get home from work, I jump online, all the clips, everyone posts, all the photos, all the whatever, I scroll through them until I fall asleep. That means so much more to me, and I'm sure others than you guys will know. So keep that up. No matter what happens, keep that up.
I love that, Dukes. As somebody who has gone to another country by themselves, and me, gone to a sporting event by themselves, I have done that. I actually did it in your fair country, Dukes. I went to, I had an apartment in St. Kilda in Melbourne, and I went and watched some AFL. Didn't know what the fuck was going on. People around me were very, very nice. Though, despite they did buy me a beer, wasn't the same kind of thing as Dukes coming up to Edmonton where everybody was excited about it. Nobody knew who Bag Milk was in Australia. I tell you that much. But I wish you were here, man. I really do. Like, I know how much you loved being here when you were here in February, and I wish it would have worked out for you to be here now, because the party is insane. It is every other day almost, and the city is just vibrant and alive with love for the Edmonton Oilers, and everybody who's surrounding the nation is just right in that mix as well. Final voicemail for our friends at Hectic Cuts. Again, you can book online at hectic-cuts.ca with Cuts with a Z. Final voicemail.
Yes, good afternoon. Love you, Donkey Volley. Don't know if you're listening, mate. Just love you. Okay, so also on Saturday, I'll be heading across to Mackay. It's about 3 hours away. To meet up with one Dr. Baker, who is an Edmonton native, now resides in central Queensland, like all the good Oiler fans do.
Mm-hmm.
Going to watch Game 6 together, but I may miss the start of it. I've got a pretty good reason. Not because it's 3 hours away and I'm going to have to get up at 4:30 in the morning on a fucking Saturday. That's fine. That's easy. The main reason I might be late to puck drop or to miss puck drop is because I'll be sitting at 9 a.m. in Mackay. I'll be sitting my IELTS test, which, for those of you who don't know, is a requirement of the Canadian work visa that I'm applying for. So, yes, I might miss some gameplay, but, hopefully the result will mean I get to witness in person much more fucking gameplay. So we'll see what fucking happens.
Best of luck to you, man. Best of luck to you. That is a super, the commitment to the city that you've been to for a couple of weeks and the community that kind of surrounds what we do here. I just wish you the best, man. If you need anything, if you need a signature of a Canadian who actually knows you, you know how to get a hold of me. Okay? Dukes, love that. Love your love for the city. Can't wait to see more of you. Everybody cheer for Dukes. Here, we give him one of these. That's all he gets. Otherwise, he gets too much of an ego. Just kidding. Love you, Dukes. Want to get your hair cut from the same place some of your favorite players? EK91, Hollywood, Stu Daddy, Clouder, McLovin. They've all been to Hectic Cuts. Is it time for you to get your hair cut there? Maybe a beard trimming. Book with the best barbers in Edmonton at Hectic Cuts, located in the heart of the South Side in Century Park. Bookings are available at hectic-cuts.ca. Cuts with a Z. We have got a big game coming up on Friday. If they go through, to Game 7, which I hope they will. I believe in my heart that they will. This city will erupt, and we will have a party this weekend, the likes of which we have never seen. This is one of the biggest games in Oilers history. It is one of the biggest games in Oilers Nation history, and I'm glad you're here along for the ride. And that's where I'm going to say goodbye. And from my friend Donkey Volley, who said he's leaving, I hope this is just a short serenade, or a short, what is that called? A sabbatical? Looking forward to your return, my friend.
My ears are sexy and yours are too. What do we listen to? Our ears so true.